COVID-19 has been spreading through the black community at an alarming rate. Well, now a new PSA from the NAACP that you will see right here on Channel 3 is hoping to change that. With us now, Scot Esdale. He is the president of the Connecticut NAACP. And Scott, great to see you in the program again.
Thanks for having me, Dennis. It's always great to be on your show.
Well, it's always great. And I'm looking forward to having you in person on this show once we're able to do so, once this whole COVID thing slows down a little bit, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's talk about, first of all, why does coronavirus hit the black community so hard, you think?
I couldn't tell you why, but I know that it's hitting us hard. And a lot of individuals are losing their lives. A lot of people are sick. And it's not only here in Connecticut, but it's all across the nation. It's really, sad situation. We've lost a lot of leaders in the NAACP, and many leaders in the NAACP have been affected by the virus, being on ventilators for two and 3 months. And that's the reason why we're putting together this NAACP awareness campaign around the COVID-19 free testing.
Tell me a little bit about the campaign.
Well, we partnered with the city of Hartford. Last week, we actually had an announcement with Mayor Luke Bronin and the representatives of CVS. Originally, the free testing was supposed to stop in July, but now we're expanding it into September. So we want everyone to take advantage of it. It's at the Roya Center in Hartford. It's rapid testing. All you have to do is go on CVS.com, make an appointment and get down there and get the free test. We need everyone to take advantage of it. What we're really trying to do is save lives. So we're partnering with all our media partners, such as WFSB, Hot 93.7, 94.3 FM radio station. We're going to be putting out lawn signs. We're going to be having a full-fledged campaign with all the social media outlets, digital platforms, letting people know the available free testing that's out there.
There are some people who are hesitant to go out and get a test because they think it might hurt or something. It's certainly uncomfortable. What's your message to those people watching right now?
Well, there's a lot of misinformation on the internet, as you know. There's a lot of misinformation on social media, and people are nervous because they don't have insurance. A lot of people have lost their jobs. As we know, so many people have filed for unemployment in the state of Connecticut, and people just are hurting real bad out there. And once again, with all the misinformation, but this is free testing, and we need to let everyone know that it's free. You do not have to have insurance. If you lost your job, the testing is still available for you. And what we're striving to do is leave not one stone unturned. We want to make sure that everyone is aware that there's free testing out there. Just had a long conversation with the governor's office that we're going to expand this initiative outside of Hartford. We'll be making another announcement next week where we're going to be going into more cities across the state.
Well, that PSA will certainly reach a lot of people. Scott, I want to shift gears a bit and ask you about the police accountability, the police reform bill that passed this past week. What do you think about it?
I stayed up late last night, Dennis, watching the debate and the various dialogue around the police accountability bill. We put a lot of work into this particular effort, and we're really happy that the bill got through. I would like to thank the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus. I'd like to thank the leadership of the Democratic Party, and I'd like to thank all the individuals in the House that helped get this bill through. People have been protesting, rallying, marching, Black and white, Latino, all people of the state of Connecticut and people from all over this nation striving to see a change in how police do business across the state of Connecticut. And once again, this has no impact on good police officers. This is only officers that are acting reckless and doing bad things out there in the community. They have a problem right now, but the good officers don't have a problem at all.
Scot X. Esdale, he is the president of the Connecticut NAACP. We appreciate you joining us today, and we'll see you in person very soon, my friend.
Thank you, Dennis. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Same to you. With more reaction to the bill, we bring in Kevin Rennie, Hartford Courant columnist and the author of the blog and website Daily Ructions, where you can always break a lot of news there. A lot of breaking news on that particular website. All right.
Where Connecticut's news begins, Dennis.
Kevin, thanks for joining us. First of all, your reaction to the bill. What did you think about it?
Well, I think the bill is a start at making changes that I think generally the public supports. I don't think anyone will argue with the idea of additional training for police officers or even for mental health checks. Where there seems to be some confusion is the new right that is created for people who suffer from the very bad acts of a police officer. And it's a complicated new system that of rights that are given to members of the public. And I suspect there'll probably be some changes in the law over the years ahead, and it'll be tested in courts. And so it will be a while before I think we see a case that from the beginning to the end. But remember, it is for really willful, malicious acts of police officers inflicted on members of the public.
This is an election year, of course. You see any political fallout for anybody in terms of their votes?
Well, I do think, police who in most communities across Connecticut are popular in their own communities, and if they organize themselves, they do have some influence. And so we'll see if they do that to make this a test on legislative races in November. It's harder to do in a presidential year than in a year when we elect a governor, because presidential campaigns generally just take center stage and don't leave a lot of room for local and state issues.
How will President Trump being on the ballot this November impact the Connecticut Republican Party?
Oh, I think it's going to be very bad for them, just as it was. He wasn't on the ballot 2 years ago. There was general revulsion against him in Connecticut suburbs that had traditionally supported Republicans. And I don't think he's certainly less popular now than he was in November of 2018.
About a year ago or so, the Republicans were talking about picking up some seats in 2020, and now they've lost. Len Fasano's not going to run again. Themis Claridis isn't running for re-election. How does that impact the party's future?
Well, it's always easier to hold on to a seat with an incumbent than an open seat. So it makes those those seats more competitive. And so what you'll see are emphasis in open seat. Both parties will expend a lot of resources on each one of those seats, where otherwise they might not have. And so we will, those seats will probably be competitive, whereas with the incumbents, they would have likely have been reelected.
We're not going to see too much in-person campaigning this year. What kind of impact do you think that will have on the races?
Probably helps incumbents, makes it harder for a challenger to become known. But I do think some candidates are able to figure out, for instance, in legislative races, how to knock on doors and sort of step back and talk through masks or face shields. And we've all been isolated in many ways for so many months that it's almost as if you wouldn't mind a visit from a politician at the end of your driveway while you stand in your doorway. I think it's important that candidates are able to be nimble and improvise, because our democracy goes on, and we can't let the pandemic diminish that, as it has so many other things.
In your judgment, do you believe the Republicans have any chance of picking up a congressional seat here in Connecticut?
No, I don't. I think across the nation, there are almost no Democratic seats held by Democrats now that are likely to fall to Republicans, and at least certainly in the House of Representatives, and in the United States Senate, I think there's one seat in Alabama where Republicans are thought to may pick it that they may pick up, but they are likely to lose many other United States Senate seats across the nation.
And very briefly, this week, Joe Biden is expected to announce his running mate. Who are you predicting it will be?
Well, I won't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris. My favorite is Val Demings. And I'm a little unnerved that it seems former United States Senator Christopher Dodd is having some role in this. That means this process may not have a happy ending.
Good enough.
We
All
don't enough hackery.
Kevin Rennie, Daily Ructions in the Hartford Courant. We hope to see you back here in person very soon.
Yes.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Dennis.
In a moment, we continue our look at Black-owned businesses, and we welcome your comments on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.